All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? I'm Charles Smith, the host of the T-Shirt Millionaires live show. And I keep telling y'all every single week, it just keeps going and going and going. And today I have a very special guest. You've probably seen this guy on YouTube, or you might seen some of his ads come across your Facebook and your Instagram feed, but his name is Kerry Egeler. He is the founder of a coaching program that is called Shirt School, where he teaches T-shirt brand owners how to sell online. And he has some amazing strategies, and we're going to have a very valuable conversation. I just told him it's very rare that I have conversations who are probably like as nerded out on e-commerce and digital marketing like I am. So I really look forward to having this convo. Y'all go ahead and get your popcorn, and I'm going to hit this intro, and we'll have a conversation with Kerry. All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Charles Smith III, the host of the T-Shirt Millionaires live show, and today we have Kerry Egeler of Shirt School. Kerry, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pass it over to you, bro. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
Man, well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on, Charles. Man, you're pretty awesome, man. I've been following your stuff. Like, Charles is the real baller. Don't let him let you guys make him think I'm the baller. He's the real baller. No, my name's Kerry Egeler. I'm the founder of Shirt School. So we have a online course. We have a higher level coaching program, and then we also have some smaller stuff. And we've got a community. It's really awesome. And basically, just like Charles said, like, we teach online T-shirt, apparel, and print-on-demand sellers how to grow their sales and profits. And we also teach people how to get started and just start a T-shirt, apparel business, print-on-demand, all that kind of stuff. And so we started back in kind of the end of 2019, and really just taking my knowledge from a few years of selling T-shirts and everything online and starting up, my own brands, and put that into a little course. And throughout 2020, I mean, it just kind of blew up and exceeded all my expectations. And so I'm happy to be here today. I just appreciate you inviting me on, man.
Absolutely. No, man. Pleasure having you.
Big time value to people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I appreciate all the value that you add in the marketplace, bro. As a peer, somebody who has seen your work, listening to what you do, I can say that I appreciate what you do. So let's start kind of like from the beginning, Kerry. So I want to know, like, where did this journey of online business and e-commerce start from you? Like, where did it begin and when did that happen?
Yeah, man. So I try not to make this too long, but it's like there's just so much to it. But I'll keep it pretty short. I see Brian. Brian's one of my guys. He's in my community.
Nice.
So back in 2017, I was working in retail, and I was a store manager for like a cell phone company. And I'd been there for, I think, like 6 years, and I worked in cell phones for 12 plus years. So to cut all the fluff, I got fired. I got let go back in 2017. I had some employees doing some shady stuff that I didn't know about, and I was held responsible. And so I got fired. So basically, literally a week later, sometimes I tell this story and I feel like it sounds like some kind of like guru made up story, like these gurus are like, anyways. Right. So like a week later, I started a online T-shirt business. And it was basically one of these things where I was like, well, I've got a little bit in savings. Should I go try to find another job, or should I try something different, totally different? I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about T-shirts. Wow. I had worked in a screen printing shop for a little bit, like literally for like 6 months, but I didn't really know much about apparel or anything like that, other than kind of just being a hand in a screen printing shop.
Right.
I didn't know anything about online business or really business in general. And basically I was just like, well, I got a little bit in savings. Let me give it a shot. Let me try this online business thing. So I started up my first little online store. I found T-shirts on AliExpress. Familiar with AliExpress?
Yep.
I found T-shirts on AliExpress. Had no idea about print on demand or any of this stuff. So I put 4 T-shirts up on a Shopify page, like one page.
Right.
And I started some Facebook ads for $5 a day at the advice of my brother-in-law, who was kind of had helped me get it started. And I just started it, and I was terrified. I was like, $5 a day is so much money. That's $35 a week.
Right.
I can't afford this. Like,
right.
I was terrified about $5 a day. I pressed the button, and then like literally like 2 or 3 days later, where I'm freaking out about spending $15 on ads, first sale comes in. Like what the heck?
Right.
So then, funny story is like my first 2 or 3 sales actually got returned because I launched without even knowing like how to get the t-shirts from AliExpress to the customer. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
So then 6 weeks go by and they're like, hey, I still don't have my shirts. Like, so I just had to refund them because it was like China's taking forever, all this stuff. Anyways, so I finally found out about print on demand, changed my whole store over to print on demand, started building out some more designs, and the business kind of really, really grew. We got up to doing about 30K a month, for a few months, which was kind of where we plateaued. And then it all just crashed. It all just went, and crashed. And I had to start working for Uber. I was driving for Uber. I was driving for Lyft. I was trying to selling stuff like musical equipment and different stuff I had. And basically I just didn't give up. Like I just was determined not to give up. And so I learned digital marketing, learned Facebook ads, email marketing, took some courses, and just kind of built it back up over time until it was back to being a consistent like moneymaker for myself and my family.
Right.
And then eventually just started the course and just putting my knowledge into a course and helping people. And it's been unbelievable what we've been able to do with that so far. So
awesome.
I'm a blessed man. It's been awesome. It's been awesome.
No, that's good, bro. I love hearing the story and just, like when people start, like where you start from. And it's funny. It's like, I can imagine, well, I don't, not even imagine. I know now how when people get into digital marketing and run their first ad, it's like, is it going to work or not? How much should I put in? Right. And so, you going back and saying you had that $5 moment, like I totally understand. But, I also love too, bro, like how, you just took imperfect action. You didn't know all the steps of how to fulfill and different things, but you went ahead and did it. Now, what I want to go to is you mentioned you transferred over and you went to print on demand and got it up to $30,000. Tell me about that experience, right? Was it how long when you made that switch, were you able to build up that type of income? And did you build a niche? What were you doing?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Like it's funny because when I started the first like brand, it was I didn't know that I was like that I needed to niche down. You know what I mean? It just happened. And so I actually went into kind of a local niche, like here in Oklahoma, and I was making Oklahoma t-shirts and just all things kind of Oklahoma because most states, but I know here in Oklahoma and Texas, like people were proud that they, a lot of people are proud that they live here and we're the underdog and the flyover state and all this stuff, but we have a lot of pride. Like I love Oklahoma, and so I went into kind of a local niche. I started, just making all kinds of t-shirts around different things in Oklahoma. And that was, I think, I don't know that switching to print on demand had that much to do with the growth. I mean, it did because I could come out with more designs, but it was really the marketing that, kind of, I guess, blew it up. And having great designs, like just having designs that people love. And I teach this, and it's like, it's so pivotal when you're small that you do niche down. Cause I was in this small niche, like there's only 3.23 million people in Oklahoma, and not all of them are interested in wearing Oklahoma shirts. So it was a small niche, very small niche. But that helped me grow. And I like to teach people that the smaller the niche, the bigger your voice, right? Because when you go small, you can stand out easier, and you like people will listen to you more because there's not all these big sharks, right? I don't have a bunch of big competitors in the Oklahoma niche. So I could come in as a small guy and instantly be the big guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's just there was competitors, but it's a lot easier to compete. I don't have Nike trying to go against me or, so it's when you go small, when you niche down, you have that big voice kind of instantly. And so I did that, and that made my marketing more effective. I'm an Oklahoman, so I could speak the language. I know what to say, and it's something that I've lived here all my life. So I know what people respond to in Oklahoma,
Right.
So anyways, but then it was I don't want to say it was a fluke, but it was kind of like, I wasn't expecting it to get up to 30K, so quickly. It happened in a couple months, and I would just kept bumping up the ad spend and like being terrified and not know what I was doing, and it just kept growing. And then like I said, it kind of crashed, and it did crash, and I had to kind of refigure out everything. And so it's not the perfect like I made a $bazillion story. It's like, no, it crashed for months while I just was trying to figure out my life, and we're having a second baby. And it's like the madness that people go through. I know some people watching can probably identify with that. Like, it's all like, you got a baby on the way, your house is falling apart, you're trying to make ends meet, you're trying to grow a business. I mean, it was like, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to go 5 to 8 a.m. to work on the business, then go 8 a.m., take care of my kids for a couple hours, then go drive for Uber for 5 hours. Like, I was just trying to figure it out. And
Dude,
I just was determined not to give up.
Dude, well, kudos to you. There's a few things that I want to unpack that you said, but bro, it's so funny. First off, your job, you ended up switching and transition back in 2017. That was me. I left in June 2017.
Wow, I said 2017. So we're like right there.
Right there, right? So then also just hearing the story about you trying to make it work. You say you had a second baby on the way. Same thing for me, bro. The day I left my job, my wife told me she was pregnant, right?
Mine was literally like 7 days later. I got fired in like 5 or 7. I don't remember the exact day, but 5 or 7 days later, it was like right around my birthday on July 26th, right around that time. I mean, she just walks out of the bathroom with the pregnancy stick, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I just got fired. Like, you got to be kidding me. You know, like,
oh, that's crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
Same thing. So, and then I hit my rock bottom, and I'm delivering newspapers from like 12 a.m. to like 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Trying to make ends meet and then working on a business. So I resonate with what you're talking about, bro. So yeah, that's wild. That's wild. So one thing I wanted to mention for everybody in the audience, I want to make sure y'all didn't miss this. Kerry said, the smaller the niche is, the bigger your voice. And I love that, right? And he recommends niching down. One thing that I always say, Kerry, is when you try to speak to everybody, nobody listens, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's powerful. And then for everybody who has those passionate states like a Oklahoma or a Texas or whatever it is, think about it. There's ways that you can niche down for your state and make things for your state. And that's what helped, Kerry, take things over the top and find something that works. Now, tell me about this crash. Was it just the pressure of everything happening in life, Kerry? What was going on to where, just kind of business stopped at that point in time?
Well, it was a couple things, and I'll be really transparent with you. I don't love talking about this because it's like, I don't want it to, I don't know. It's weird talking about it. But one of the things was, first of all, I had no idea what I was doing. So it was just growing. And so I made some t-shirts that, that I shouldn't have been making. And I got some cease and desist letters on some of my biggest t-shirts. And I was like, I was in the Oklahoma niche. So, and I don't reveal this very often. So this is a little odd, but I had made some, sports kind of t-shirts and stuff like that with some Oklahoma teams here. And I just I started to get a few cease and desist letters. I had to get a lawyer, all these extra expenses, all this stuff. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said, it was just like, I was just kind of trying to figure things out. That was a big thing. It was that on top of also just having no idea what I was doing. I had no employees. So there's a lot of burnout. I mean, I was, when you're pushing like 30K a month, it's like, and I'm answering all the customer service emails, designing all the t-shirts, like all that stuff. Like, I just had no idea what I was doing. So it was just this combo of like, and then life, like I said, like the baby on the way and just all the things. My wife was not working because she wasn't working before when I had a good paying job.
Right.
So she wasn't working. She's pregnant. She's in the first trimester. It was all these things of just like, my world was kind of crumbling really, really fast.
Right.
And so I had to refigure all that out. Like when I got the cease and desist letters and my business started kind of crumbling and I was caving under the pressure, I had that moment I think everybody probably has when things get tough, when you're like, okay, what's my next move going to be? Am I going to just let it all go, give up everything I've built, restart and try to find another opportunity or whatever? Or am I going to keep going and trying to find that spot of like, when do I quit? When do I keep going? And I had to kind of rethink my business. Like, I'm selling t-shirts. I'd sold some that I shouldn't have been selling, all that kind of stuff. And I started redoing my designs and putting out new designs and trying to get the mojo again,
Right.
And luckily, like I said, it took a while, but as I started to get better at marketing, it started to climb, it started to climb again. I was able to get it back to those levels.
Right. Well, look, bro, I want to let you know, man, I salute you for your candor, right? And I heard you mention, right, you never really talked about that, but I think that you sharing that is going to be so valuable to a lot of people, right? So, the mistakes and the things that you may have made, right? Somebody else can learn from that. And at the same time, how you were able to take that and still rebound. Now,
yeah.
Before we move forward, bro, because I respect your story, because hearing you talk reminds me of my story, bro.
Yeah, it's great.
So I want to know real quick, because I think for the people out there who may be under that pressure, where it feels like the walls are closing in on you, where it feels like things aren't working, how did you keep your sanity, bro? How did you just keep the belief in yourself to say, I'm going to keep pushing through this? Like, what was it for you? What was that reason why?
Man, I think it's, I hope this is helpful for people, like when I say this, but it's like, I had a family counting on me. And I mean, that's one of the biggest things is like, and I would say this, even if you're watching out there and you don't have a family, or you're not married and you don't have responsibilities, you've got to find that in what you have. Everybody out there has people counting on them, whether that's your kids, your wife or your husband, your mom, your cousins, your friends. Like, everybody out there has people counting on them. And so you've got to find that motivation, that drive, that purpose in that. Like, there's, that for me, it was my family. It was just my kid. Like, I've got a kid on the way.
Right.
I've got a 1-year-old son. I've got my wife who's basically bedridden in her first trimester. She's throwing up every day. She's just kind of on the couch, like surviving, trying to make it through that first trimester.
Right.
And so I couldn't give up. I didn't really have a choice, I could have, and to be honest with you, I tried to find jobs. Like, when I'm driving for Uber and I was trying to keep selling my t-shirts, keep building my business, like, I was trying to find jobs and I nothing was happening. It was just one of those times, like, I couldn't find a full-time job. I'm just hustling Uber, and I'm like, well, I've still got my t-shirt business. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep just pushing forward. And I think really it was just the drive of my family just counting on me. And I knew that. And I think another thing is, like, here's what I would say this to anybody watching out there. When you have your own online business, or you're just your own business in general, I want you to understand that as the CEO, like, that income is not capped. It's unlimited potential, right? But when you go into the corporate world, or you go into a regular job, you're going to get a salary, you're going to be paid per hour or whatever it is. And there's opportunity to grow, but that's capped. It's capped, right? You can only, you're first of all, if you want to be high level, it's going to could take you 5, 10, 20 years, but you're still not ever going to own that company, right?
Right.
You're never going to have that. It's still going to be capped somewhere. And then for a lot of people, it's like, in the short term, you can go make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. But when you own your own business, that potential and opportunity is unlimited. And I saw that. I knew that if I continued with my t-shirts and my online apparel business, that it was unlimited. That could take me to places I've never been, that could provide a life for my family and for my kids that I dreamed of them having. And I could leave them a legacy. Working at the cell phone store, getting another cell phone job, it's like, what's that going to do? Like, yeah, I can make decent money. We can have a decent life, but there was that part of it as well. So
I love it.
Hopefully that helps. But
no, that's huge, bro. Me and you cut from the same cloth, bro. You have no idea how much I'm just enjoying listening to you speak about this, bro. And again, salute to you, man. So, the reason why his family was his reason why. He knew that he had opportunity. He searched for jobs and tried to find things, but he kept pushing because he had a family and children that were depending on him to make it happen, and he persevered. So you have to respect that 100%. So, all right, Kerry, so you're going through these times, right? And you talked about you kept learning and you kept building up. What are some of the things that you did to continue the, growing, or learning information to empower you along your journey? Did you take courses? What YouTube university? Like, what were you doing to continue feeding your mind?
Yeah, there's a quick story I'll tell you about my mentor at the time. And I will say I was very fortunate to have a brother-in-law that was pretty successful with online business. And so I would go to him for a lot of advice, but I do want, like, people get it messed up a little bit. Like some people literally are like, I've had people come at me and be like, well, if we don't have a mentor, like we can't, you had a mentor, like, that kind of thing. And I was like, they weren't there. Like, they don't really, like, he was very busy. It was like every time I went to him, it's like, I need to like bring lunch and something to be like, bro, can I just get 2 minutes of your time?
Right.
Like, cause I just need to figure this thing out. Can I just get a minute of your time?
Right.
And so he helped me get started. But one of the things that I think that the turning point for everything, this all happened really fast. It was probably March of 2018. This whole like build up and crash, it literally from July 2017 built it up. December, it crashes down. And like by March, I started to see the light. Like, it was like, it's starting to work. But what happened was in like February, March of 2018, my mentor, his name's Travis. He was like, dude, okay, listen, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to stop bugging me, and you need to go buy this course and do exactly everything that this guy tells you. Every lesson in his course, you do exactly what he tells you. You don't stray from it. You just do what he says. Okay.
Right.
And that guy, and he'll probably never see this, but his name is Nick Peroni. He's awesome. He's Ecom Empires.
Right.
He's got a huge Facebook group, still to this day, teaches ecom. I went, bought one of his courses. I literally just like did exactly what he said. And it's funny because I never like sent him a testimonial. I need to send him a testimonial because I have a course now. I'm like, man, I never did that. But I did exactly what he said, and that's what helped me grow and start to take off again. Is I was just learning. And so, that was the biggest thing, was getting that course. And like, I didn't have the money for it, but I knew that I had to find somebody who had already done it and went before me and had the success. And I had to follow what they had done and do exactly what they tell me to do. And that's what helped me. And then throughout my journey, that changed my mindset of investing in courses and coaching and all that kind of stuff. Cause it hurts at first when you put that money, you pay that money and you're like, man, $1,000 for a course. Like, that's hard. But then you see the return on it, when you really do what it says. So it's opened up my mind. And so now, like last year, I spent over 30 grand on courses and coaching last year.
Yeah.
Which isn't a lot to some people, but like, I want to keep learning. Like, there's a lot of people who are doing much better than me. So I got to go find the next level,
right?
Get their course, get their coaching program. I hit that level. I got to get the next one. And I'm just going to keep leveling up,
right?
Because I have learned the value of investing into myself, really, in my business through courses and coaching. And so anybody out there, even if it feels hard, sometimes you don't have the money, you gotta bet on yourself. First of all, you got to say, okay, I'm going to take action. I'm going to do everything inside that course. And no matter what, I'm going to see the results. It doesn't matter how good that course is. It matters how hard I'm going to go in that course. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the mindset you have to take. A lot of people take the opposite. They buy a course and they're like, well, this course better produce for me.
Right.
It's like, the course is nothing if you don't implement it. Right. So bet on yourself. Don't bet on the course. You go do what's in that course and you determine, I'm going to get the results no matter what it takes.
No matter what.
Yeah. And so anyways, that's for me. Yeah. YouTube University podcast. I mean, I'm on Clubhouse. Like we need to do a Clubhouse room, by the way, because I know you're on there.
Facts.
Like I'm soaking up knowledge all the time.
Facts.
All the time.
No, I love it, bro. And that's why I wanted to ask, because you're a student of the game, right? Everything that I've learned, a lot of people ask me, Charles, where did you learn from? And I told them that I learned from the underground, man. Like, I went and got my MBA and all these different things, but everything that I'm doing today, it started for me with a digital course. When I first got into e-commerce, I bought a course that helped me get going. You say you came up under somebody. When I came into e-commerce and Shopify and all that different stuff, I came up through Build Grow Scale, Tanner Larson, right? So I go out into their year-long program, even coaching, right? I've invested in stuff there. So I'm a big proponent of investing, learning, putting in knowledge. And like you said, more than anything, it's the mindset of when you get this knowledge, how you use it, how you utilize it, how you produce from it as well. So I think that's extremely valuable. So, all right, bro, you talked about, let's switch gears a little bit. You talked about you use print on demand. When I was flat broke, that's when I started my t-shirt brand, and I could only do print on demand. I couldn't buy inventory.
Me too.
I ended up using Printify. Who were you using at that point in time for your print on demand provider, and what type of products were you selling based on their catalog?
Yeah, so the first one I started with, I won't name them, but I'll name the second one. But the first one I started with, I didn't know anything about what was a good print on demand company or not. I had all kinds of quality issues. It was like every other customer was like sending me pictures like, this t-shirt sucks, it looks bad. So I switched about maybe 2 or 3 months in, maybe a little longer than that. I switched print on demand companies to a company called Tscape, Teescape, Tscape. They're smaller print on demand company. They're in the Shopify app store. You guys can check them out, but they mainly only do t-shirts and like hoodies and stuff. They don't do all the other stuff.
Right.
And that's who I've put the most volume through. Because they just had great quality. They were small enough where I could literally talk to the owner.
That's good.
And they had great customer service. They'd replace all the orders if they had issues. And so that's who I put the most volume through. I've also worked with SPOD. I have no affiliation with any of these print on demand companies. I don't have affiliate links or anything like that. SPOD is another one that I like. I really like what they do. And then most recently, I've been working the most with Custom Cat. And one of the reasons is because of the personalization. Custom Cat's got incredible personalization options. If anybody out there is wanting to get into personalization, letting your customers customize the words and that kind of thing, I mean, Custom Cat's a really good option for that.
Nice.
They have a huge product selection and lots of good stuff.
Cool. So y'all go ahead and is Tscape, is that still operating or no?
Yeah, cool. They're still going. Yeah, I still use them. They're awesome, but they're again mainly t-shirts and stuff. Like they don't do hats, they don't do mugs, anything like that. It's a small product selection.
Right. So that's really great, y'all. And looks like Black Essence says nice gems, Kerry. So he talked about Tscape, he talked about SPOD, he talked about Custom Cat. So if anybody is looking for some information for print on demand providers, Kerry just dropped some gems off for us. All right. So at that point in time, I know you talked about having the Oklahoma stuff. Did you switch to a totally different niche and build a new business? What was going on? What type of shirts were you selling around that time?
Yeah, so I still have the Oklahoma business. It's great.
Yeah.
I've started a few other brands that have done decent, but nothing like super crazy. Just like the Oklahoma one has been my biggest one.
Right.
But I've started other brands that have done, $10K a month, that kind of thing, like, which is great. But just didn't quite get to my my original one. And a lot of people ask me, like, should I do multiple stores? Should I have like multiple brands? And I really recommend do one niche, one brand until you get that to a point where you have the time and resources to start another one, And so I really did that one for years, that first brand for years, until I had it kind of automated enough and had a little bit of a team, some help like with customer service and that kind of stuff to be able to start a second one, and that's with really any kind of business stuff, courses, any kind of anything, because I have my course as well now. I don't move on to another thing until you've really got that thing cooking. I like to think about this, the circle of focus. If you take a circle and you got the whole circle on one thing, as soon as you add a second thing, your focus is now cut in half, 50%. And the more you're focused on one thing, the more you'll be able to grow it. But as soon as you cut that focus, you sometimes cut the results.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that would be my advice. Be careful with multiple brands.
I love it. I think that's powerful. And I found something that was on Instagram. I put on my story. It was two guys like drilling a hole in the ground. One person, they drilled like 5 different holes, and then one just stayed on one hole and kept drilling down. And then he pulled out a diamond at the very top. And then the other dude was over there, he was hot. He was mad because the dude pulled out the diamond. But it is that focus, right? It's that focus I always say, or there's a saying out there, it's like, instead of going a mile wide and an inch deep, go an inch wide and a mile deep, right? And just really, focus. So I love that whole concept. Now, one thing I want to do, Kerry, is, so for everybody watching, I found out about Kerry because I think I saw his ads. And then I started, I've been hip to, ClickFunnels, all that stuff, but I've never used it for my t-shirt business. So I discovered some information. I went searching for like free plus shipping offers and stuff for t-shirts. And so I'm going to come over and I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I think this is the one. So basically I come across this specific. Yeah, I see this. And we go back to 2019, Kerry.
He's really searching.
Right. So I see this and it says how my t-shirt funnel did $2,426 in 72 hours with 30% profit, right? But the thing that I wanted to really start highlighting and what I wanted to talk about is we come down here and it says, I took my best-selling t-shirt from Shopify store that I sell at $28 and made it a free plus shipping offer on a funnel. All right, Kerry. So what I want to do is I want to dissect this because free plus shipping is very popular out there when it comes to digital products, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to physical products, some people are doing it. But even for t-shirts, you barely hear anybody doing it. Yeah. Talk to me about the philosophy about what you were doing there with that free plus shipping offer on ClickFunnels.
Man, I love talking about this because
I love it. It's all you, brother.
If you guys want like the tactics, the deep strategy, like this will blow up your business for real. And this is one of the things. I think it's really one of those gems that I teach, and it's a great strategy. So let me tell you a little bit about the story. So basically what happened was I feel like I kind of invented this. I don't want to take credit.
Hey, it's all good, brother. Go ahead.
I've never seen anybody doing it before I did it. And so maybe, I don't know. I'm sure it's been done. Everything's been done. So I don't want to take credit, but so this is like I told you, I was doing Nick Peroni's course, right? And I was also into like drop shipping and all this stuff. Like I'm learning all this stuff. I'm really young in the game and no idea what I'm doing. And everybody is doing these free plus shipping offers, like from AliExpress, right? They're like drop shipping, like I don't know what's a good example, like some kind of little trinket or like little gadget that they're like giving away for free, and they're charging $7.95 shipping. And they're buying the product from AliExpress for $2, or whatever. And they're making these little, and free plus shipping was just like everywhere.
Right.
So, and it still is. Like you said, you still see these free plus shipping everywhere. So I keep seeing these, and all these gurus are teaching it. And I'm like, could you do this with a t-shirt?
Right.
I'm sitting there like, how could this work with a t-shirt? So I had been using funnels and I'd been doing some funnel stuff. I had also been building a t-shirt subscription business at the time, a few years ago, building a t-shirt subscription business, which is basically where you pay me every single month on autopilot, and I send you a new unique t-shirt every month. So it's like which is also a good strategy that I love.
All right.
So I've been using these funnels, right? And if you guys don't know what a funnel is, I'll try to give you like a really simple explanation. A funnel is basically a landing page that just has one option on it. It's literally, there's a bunch of information and there's just a button that says buy, right? There's not all this Shopify, millions of t-shirts and products and about us and all this stuff. It's like one button. You go to the page, bunch of information, pictures, and the only thing you can do is press buy, right? That's basically what a funnel is that kind of landing page. And then it has a bunch of upsells in it where you sell a bunch of different products after they click buy. Okay. So that's a very basic idea of a funnel. So I'd known about funnels. I've been using them. So I'm like, okay, how can I do this free t-shirt thing? So I was using print on demand. I look at print on demand. I'm looking at the prices. I'm like, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. If you guys know anything about print on demand, it's, the cheapest probably you can get a Gildan t-shirt is $5, maybe $6. Mm-hmm. Then you got to pay $4 shipping. Then you got to market it, and it's like, that's not going to work. Okay. So I go on to some wholesalers.
Yeah.
I had my sales tax permit, my business license. So I go on to Sanmar.com, SS Activewear. So I started looking on there. Lo and behold, I could get a basic t-shirt for like $1.40
right.
on these websites, right? And so I'm like, okay, so I call my screen printer. I call the screen printer here in town. He's a friend of mine. And I'm like, hey, how much can you print a one color t-shirt for if I printed 100 of them? You know, how much could you print a one? He's like, 70 cents.
Easy.
Like,
easy.
I did 100, it's 70 cents. So now I'm like, okay, that's $2.20 or $2.10. The shirt's $1.40. The print's 70 cents. I'm up to $2.10. Okay, what's the cheapest I can ship these? So I start looking around. It's about $3 ish at the time. You know, it was like $3. So I'm like, okay, I'm up to 5 something, right? So then I'm like, okay, so I sell this thing. I mark it up a few bucks.
Right.
I put it in a funnel, free, just pay shipping. So I charge them $7.95, $8.95 shipping, somewhere around there.
Right.
I'm really just looking to break even on that.
Right.
Because I know I'll get them in the funnel, in the upsells, right? So I hit my email list. I think I had about 3,000 people on my email list. I hit the social media. And it's one of my best selling t-shirts. And I run some Facebook ads. So I'm doing all this stuff. The Facebook ads start getting sales at like $1.20 per sale. Right?
So is that like per purchase conversion?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I know you guys might be thinking, well, that was years ago, but like I just had a student run it the other day. I can tell you about their results, and they're crushing it. They're crushing it with this free plus shipping thing. And so I'm getting like $1.20 or something, and my emails are blowing up, everything. So anyways, the whole idea of this is a couple things. Number one, it's a very limited time offer. It's 72 hours. Maybe you could probably stretch it to 5 days, maybe, but it's like at very exclusive, limited quantities. Hey, we're doing 100 of these, or we're doing 500 of these, however many you want to have printed. And you're saying this offer is only available for 72 hours, and you're just going to drive as much traffic as you can for 72 hours. And then your hope is just that you break even on that free t-shirt.
Right.
Because then once they click buy, you can sell them a hoodie, you can sell them a mug, you can sell them another t-shirt, you can upsell them to a t-shirt subscription. I mean, there's a ton of different options you can do, but I just stacked on about 2 or 3 upsells in the funnel for, and I just bumped it up a little bit. So like the first shirt, free plus shipping, the second shirt, maybe $12.99, the third item, hoodie, $24.99. Like I'm just stacking it, that price up a little bit. And that's how I drove the profit. So I ended up with, I don't know, I think it was like $800 in 72 hours, which isn't like crazy, but that's still awesome. Like
exactly,
made $800 in profit in 72 hours.
Right.
So, and we can break that down a little more, but fast forward just real quick. Like I just had one of my coaching students, his name's Chad. He did it the other day. Same strategy, except he just did it on a Shopify store. He didn't even do a ClickFunnels. Dude did like $5,000 in 72 hours. And this dude brought home $3,600 in profit on that $5,000.
Boom.
In 72 hours. Like,
boom.
It's freaking awesome, dude. My mind is blown, and people keep doing this, and it still works today. It's awesome.
Talk to me about this, Kerry. I think that is amazing. And I'm so hyped because, like I said, bro, to have these like deep digital marketing conversations, like this is what I love nerding out on. So when it comes to you getting purchase conversions under $2, right? Tell me about the conversion rate on this free plus shipping offer, because one thing that I always talk about, it might be a stat out there, 1 to 3% of people will convert on a Shopify store on average, right? But when it comes to these free plus shipping, especially when you put it in a funnel to where they don't have to go to an about us and all these different pages, tell me about that. How did that increase with your funnel?
100%. So guys, when I said like landing page with just a buy button, you might be thinking, well, what does that matter? Right? A confused mind always says no. Okay. So when you hit that Walmart page and you got 47, blenders, and you're sitting there and you're just like, well, all these blenders look good. Right. Which one should I buy? And it's that decision fatigue. And it's just like, so funnels in general. So first thing I say, funnels in general, it doesn't matter if you're using ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Zipify, whatever you're using. Funnels in general have a much higher conversion rate, like Charles is alluding to, because you eliminate all the fluff, all the confusion. It's one option. Do you want it or do you not want it? Buy now, right? So you eliminate all that confusion and your conversion rate is much higher. So let's just start here. In general, if you build a funnel for one of your products as opposed to a Shopify store, your conversion rate's going to be higher automatically.
Right.
Because it's all about that one product, right?
Right.
Yeah, getting value out of that. That's Russell Brunson. I want to give him credit. He's who I heard that from. The ClickFunnels guy.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
So that's number one. The number two key here, and we talked about we'll talk a little bit about more about like the Facebook conversions and everything. Number two key, the magic of free, right? The magic of free. If you put something for free on your Shopify store, it's going to convert higher.
Right.
If you then take the power of a funnel and then the power of free and combine those two things, so you get free inside of a funnel, that conversion rate even goes higher. So typically what I see on a funnel with a free plus shipping offer is anywhere between like 15 and 25%, sometimes 30% conversion rates on that landing page, depending on how good it is, right? If you've got testimonials for your t-shirt company, if you've got really engaging copy, a great offer, all those kind of things, you can see conversion rates on a free plus shipping offer on a funnel, 25, 30%. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all. So I want y'all to, I want to break this down so everybody understands. Kerry just said, we talked about on a Shopify store, e-commerce, you might have 1 to 3% on average. Okay. So if 100 people come, 1 to 3 people buy. What Kerry is saying is with the free plus shipping on a funnel, you get 100 people to come. You got about 25 people that are buying from you, right? And at the same time, he's talking about only trying to just break even on the front end. He has upsells and offers on the back end to be able to increase that average order value and possibly pull a profit out of that first transaction. But the other thing that I want to get into, Kerry, that I want to kind of break down, because this might have flew over people's head, and I want you to break this down too, because this is another powerful strategy. The free plus shipping is powerful when it comes to customer acquisition, right?
Yeah. I hope you're about to say what I think you're about to say.
Yeah. So I think you probably catch me. It comes with customer acquisition. But one of the ways that I always talk about being able to grow your business is getting your customers to buy from you more frequently.
Yes.
And you mentioned how you had a subscription business or you were building a subscription. Talk to us about that part of the business.
Yeah. Okay. So let me say this first. Let me blow your guys' mind with some stats. You ready for some stats?
Let's run them up.
A repeat customer, 9 times more likely to convert than a first-time buyer. 9 times more likely. Okay. Yeah. On average, a repeat customer will spend 3 times more money with you than a first-time buyer. That means if your first-time buyer is on average buying 1 shirt, your second-time buyer is on average going to buy 3 shirts. Right. So those statistics just kind of blow my mind. And I think the other one to kind of go along with that is something like, I'm just trying to remember it, but it's 5 times more expensive to get a first-time buyer than get somebody to buy again. So the biggest benefit, and we can talk about the subscription, but the biggest benefit about the free plus shipping thing, like I really want you guys to understand this. The biggest benefit is not the profit, not the money made. The biggest benefit is growing your email list. You have never seen anything grow your email list this fast. Like it's crazy. Yeah. It will grow your email list and grow your brand like crazy. I just bought a free t-shirt. That sounds weird, buying a free t-shirt, but I paid the shipping on a free t-shirt from, I'll just name them because they probably won't care. Kicks on Fire. I love shoes, and I like to buy shoes. So I got a free t-shirt from Kicks on Fire the other day. And like, this is a huge brand. And the only reason they're doing it is doing the free plus shipping thing is to grow their brand and to grow their email list, get people on social media, all this stuff. And so that's the biggest benefit of the whole free plus shipping thing is you will grow your list so easy, so cheaply. Like I can't even say that enough.
Right.
And the key to all this is the email list, because remember, sending emails, growing your email list, you can get people to come back and buy again, and they're 9 times more likely to convert, and they'll spend 3 times as much money, right? And so it's like that's the whole goal of everything is build that list. Right. That's everything, right?
Right. So for everybody, the whole old digital marketing saying the money's in the list, And I think that too many times people get that customer to come in the door. They work hard, they spend money on traffic to acquire the customer, right? And then that list is left alone, right? We're not
Always
them enough. We're not giving them new offers. And when you can build up a list like Kerry is talking about with a free plus shipping offer, you have all this money sitting on the back end if you just can tap into it, right? And so I really want y'all to catch that and all those gems that he dropped on us. Now, Kerry, I know, like we talked about, I know that, you know, I could come out with a new t-shirt tomorrow and send it out to my list, or it might be a holiday and I can send out something, but you have a subscription to where it automatically bills them on a month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
How does someone go? How do you go about offering that subscription to your customer base?
Yeah. So again, I'm gonna break down the strategy, like how I kind of discovered this was, so the reason I started a t-shirt subscription is because the main reason I started this thing was I was like, okay, I don't like having up and down revenue months. I don't like doing 30K one month and then doing 13K the next month or whatever, you know, 20K, whatever. Like, I don't like the up and down. I want consistency. So what if I just made a t-shirt of the month club and gave my subscribers a exclusive t-shirt that only they could get, nobody else gets it, and I just sent it to them every month and charge them automatically. And I started doing the math, right? And I'm like, okay, if I charge $15 a month and I build this up to I think it's like just 100 subscribers,
right, is
$1,500 a month. And I had about a 50% margin on that after all costs. So it's like, okay, that's $750 a month, no matter what, $750 in profit, right? So, okay, let's look at 1,000. What if I get 1,000 subscribers, which isn't a lot? What if I get 1,000 subscribers? That's 15 grand a month.
That's crazy.
That's $7,500 in profit, guaranteed. Because my Stripe is just going to charge their card every month, right? And so I started thinking about this, and I was like, oh man, if I do this, I don't have to like hustle selling shirts all the time. I just got to get to whatever number I want to get to. And I'm dreaming big. I'm like, it could be 1,000, it could be 5,000, it could be 10,000. And then I started thinking about that revenue. I'm like, as soon as I get those subscribers, even if it takes me years to get them, I don't even have to worry about selling to new people anymore. I've just got these repeat customers, right?
Right.
And so that was basically the thought behind it. And so what I found was, as far as positioning it, is I was going out to all these subscription sites. I'm looking at different product subscriptions that are out there in the marketplace, and I'm looking at it, and what I'm noticing is most of them don't have a really sexy offer. Like, they didn't have a sexy offer. And then I start to look at some of the big dogs like Netflix, like Dollar Shave Club, and I'm like, oh, these, like, Netflix is doing like 7-day free trial, and then after that, it's just going to bill you $10. Dollar Shave Club's doing, $3, like crazy, your first kit, $3, like all this stuff. So I started to see what these big dogs are doing. And it just clicked with me. And I was like, okay, I got to have the sexiest offer possible to get people in the door. But then the next month I can charge them the regular, just like these other companies do. And so that's how it started. So I started testing all these different offers. I charged $15 a month. Again, it cost me about $750 after all was said and done to get the shirt printed, ship it, all that kind of stuff. Because I was having them locally screen printed. This was not through print on demand. Nice. And so it's about $750 profit at the end of the day. And so I was charging $15 a month. So the first offers I came up with, I was like, okay, well, let's do first month for $10. That worked okay. I got some subscribers, 20, 30 subscribers. Okay, what if I did it for $5? First month for $5. I was like, okay, I'll lose $2.50 on the first month, but then I'll make it back in the second month. And then as they're with me longer, like, I'll get all that money back easy, right? Like, it's kind of, I mean, a lot of subscriptions lose money on the front end and then they make it back because people, stay with them. Right. So I did $5 and that worked better. And then I tried, what if I gave 2 subscriptions for the price of 1 on the front end? And I tried that and it worked good. And all these things were working good. And I kind of just kept trying these different offers. And every month I'd have kind of a new offer for new subscribers. And then at one point I even combined the free thing with the subscription. And I just gave you your first month free. Right. And that was great. The only problem with that is I got a lot of people with their payments failing because it was like
Yeah.
they were just super cheap.
Right. Right.
That one didn't last as long, but it did get a lot of people on my email list and a lot of subscribers. And so the last thing I'll say, and then we can continue breaking this down if you want, but what I found was the average, after doing it for a while, the average time that people would stay on my subscription was about 6 months.
I love it.
They pay me for 6 t-shirts.
Right.
So once you know with a subscription, once you know that number, then you know what you can, what kind of offers you can make on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
So then if I knew people on average were 6 months, it's like, oh, then offering a $5 shirt on the front end is fine because I've got 5 more months they're going to stay with me.
Right.
And it just made sense.
Right. Extremely, extremely powerful. I want y'all to catch all this stuff that Kerry is dropping. And I love the fact, Kerry, right? Because I want to have a Facebook ad conversation after this, but I love the fact what you're talking about, because you even mentioned maybe losing a couple of dollars on the front end, right?
Yep.
But that was okay for you because you were confident that you had this lifetime value that goes out to about 6 months, that you could recoup that probably in the second month. And then you know that there's going to be a certain amount of income because you had that average stick rate. So I think that's extremely powerful, what you're talking about. Now, let's go over to Facebook ads a little bit. First off, what is your, preferred marketing channel for your t-shirts?
Yeah, Facebook ads have been the primary way I've built all my businesses. Facebook, Instagram ads. And I know people out there, I started in the golden age and it was like Facebook ads were super cheap and you can run $5 a day and you could get sales that way and all that kind of stuff. So people a lot of times are like, Facebook ads are dead and all this stuff. I'm like, that's bull, man.
That's a fact.
Like, Facebook ads and Instagram ads are, number one, they're the most powerful way to promote your products, any kind of products. They're still in 2021, still the most powerful way to reach people quickly. And number two, they're still the cheapest, like one of the cheapest ways. I know I've been experimenting a little bit with TikTok and different stuff like that. And I don't really have numbers on all that stuff yet, but I still know that Facebook ads is one of the cheapest and most effective ways to reach your people in 2021. And the reason I say that is because when you compare it to traditional forms of marketing, you talk about direct mail, just sending mailers out. You talk about running billboards. You talk about newspapers, magazines, these traditional marketing. Like, it's stupid that I can pay Facebook 10 cents or less or a couple cents to show an advertisement to somebody who is really, really targeted. I can literally say, hey, Charles is the exact person I want to target. And I can say, here, Facebook, take 2 cents and you'll show my ad to Charles. And it's like, that's pretty powerful. And, I think there's a lot of things when it comes to Facebook ads, but I just think the biggest thing I find, and I think at this point, I've got 700-800 students inside of my course. I've got a lot of people that I've worked with, coaching students, course, all this stuff. The number one thing that I find is that people think that if I just run a Facebook ad to some kind of like just a t-shirt, a cool t-shirt, that's the magic formula.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I just put everybody talks about Facebook ads. If I just push the $5 a day button and just run it for 24 hours and spend $5, if I don't have a sale by then, Facebook ads suck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be harsh on anybody if you've been doing that. Like, I know that's a little bit harsh, but that's what I find time and time again is that people run their first Facebook ad for 24 hours and then they literally get in the group and they go, Facebook ads don't work. Does anybody have any tips? And I'm just like,
yeah.
And I know it's just like, people don't know, people don't understand. I get that. So again, I don't want to be hard on you. It's okay if you do that, but it's just like, that's not how Facebook ads work. You can't just run an ad to your Shopify t-shirt and think that's the magic formula and you're going to be rich. Like, it just doesn't work like that. There is a strategy to Facebook ads, and you have to look at the big picture, and you have to, again, just like we talked about, you have to look at that lifetime value. You have to look at your average order value. You have to write effective copy. You've got to have images and videos that are going to make people stop the scroll, and you've got to have your targeting on point, so that you're finding the right people. There's a lot of elements to it, and it's not hard. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it does take time for you to test and continue to get better and understand, just have the proper expectations that it's not like a overnight millionaire scheme. If I just learn how to run a Facebook ad, I'm just going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's not like that. And so anyways, I'm
Right. No, I think that is extremely valuable, bro. And just like you, every business that I've built has been from or off the back of Facebook and Instagram ads. And one thing that I always tell people is like, this is like a skill set. Yes, we're selling t-shirts, but once you learn the skill set, you can transfer that into any product, service, idea, whatever it is that you want to run. But I definitely understand what you mean when you talk about how people can start and they get discouraged, right? They get discouraged and they say, this is not working. So tell me this, bro, for someone who just starts out and they're at the very beginning stages of running their ads and, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to get conversions, right? And things haven't clicked yet. They might've spent maybe $50, $100. Things haven't clicked. How do you guide your students, right? And help them through the process? What are the things that you help them look out for to where they can get over the hump? I heard you talk about before. You talked about ad copy. You talked about targeting, right? What are the things that really make an effective Facebook ad?
Yeah, that's a great question. And to be honest with you, Charles, like this is something I'm working on communicating and working on improving with my students because I don't want my students to just come back discouraged and then me just be like, you don't get it,
Yeah.
And so it's something that I'm trying to figure out how to best help people with this because it is frustrating. It's a really frustrating thing. I mean, I'm not looking at the chat, but like, let me know in the comments if this is something, if you've struggled with Facebook ads, like the majority of people have.
Right.
And so I'm looking at that. Awesome. But the majority of people, like they've struggled with Facebook ads. So here's what I try to do with my students. And that hopefully helps is, first of all, I try to set those proper expectations with Facebook ads. Is that to let you know up front that your expectations should not be to run Facebook ads for a few days or 24 hours or whatever, and that you're going to just start having all these sales come in. That's not where your expectations should be. Okay. It is a little bit longer term play. And one of the reasons for that is because when you're first starting out with Facebook ads, consider this: you have no customers, you have no data. Facebook has no idea who the people are that are going to buy from you. Your Facebook pixel does not know anything, right? And the whole idea of the Facebook pixel is that the Facebook pixel will learn what people are doing and how they're engaging with your business and what actions they're taking on your website, so that over time it can start to deliver you cheaper conversions and cheaper sales and all that kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of time, right? Of you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to learn. Facebook's trying to learn your business and who's going to respond to your stuff.
Right.
So the first key is setting the proper expectations, that you don't come into it with the expectation that it's just going to be like instant sales, right? For some people it is. When you're in a very targeted niche and if I can clearly say, and this is why it's so important, this is another subject, but it's so important to get clear on your ideal customer, who your customer avatar is. Because if I can go into Facebook and I can say, this product is only for women that are 24 to 48, they live in Florida, they're interested in poodles,
right,
and they like to go on runs on the weekend.
Right.
If I can say that, then I'm like, oh, let me just target that and then speak directly to them and say, hey, moms in Florida who love poodles and love to run on the weekend,
right,
check out this shirt.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah. Then you might see sales right away. Like, absolutely. But anyways, so number one is setting the proper expectations. And just know that the better you get at Facebook ads, the more data you accumulate with your business and with your Facebook ad account and your pixel, the smarter Facebook's going to be, the cheaper they're going to be able to deliver you purchases, the better results you're going to get over time. Okay, that's number one. Number two, and after this one, I'll get into the Facebook ad strategy. But number two is the whole key. We've already touched on it, so I'll make it super quick. Upsells and building your email list. Having that holistic view of, I'm not just running a Facebook ad to a t-shirt. I'm doing everything I can to get them on my email list, and I want them to spend the most amount of money possible on my store, not just buy one product.
Right.
Okay, that's number two. So I'll skip over that. Lastly, what you said, what makes a great Facebook ad? Number one, it's got to stop the scroll, right? People are just scrolling mindlessly through their Instagram, through their Facebook. You've got to put out something, a video, a picture, something that makes them stop, right? And then the next thing, I call it message to market match. It's, you've got to have the messaging to match the market, right? So just like we just talked about, if we're targeting 24 to 35-year-old women in Florida that love poodles and love to run on the weekends, you got to speak that language. So you say, hey, Florida women, like, you know, like you talk that language.
Right.
So that's that message to market match. So you target the right people in the targeting. You speak the right language in the messaging, and you show images and videos that will stop the scroll.
Right.
At its very basically, that's kind of the keys.
Right.
So where do you want to go from? Like, hopefully that helps. Like,
you know, that is perfect, bro. That is perfect. And so I want y'all to pick that up, right? Number one, expectations, setting your expectations at the very beginning. Also, like Kerry said, you know, Facebook, the pixel has to learn. You're still learning, and you need to learn how to read these numbers and read the data to know, okay, this ad maybe didn't produce, but what parts of the audience work? Was it an age range? Was it a location? Is this t-shirt better than the other one, right? So it's a learning process at the very beginning. And I always say, Kerry, too, like, it's just like farming. It's just like planting a seed. You're planting a seed, you're investing in data, right? And then it's important. I can't stress it enough. It's so important to understand how to read the data so you can make decisions in future campaigns. And so that's huge. But then let's go back to what he also said. Kerry mentioned looking at e-commerce from a full e-commerce approach, right?
Absolutely.
How can you get somebody who was coming to buy one t-shirt to buy more? Because at the same time, if you find a niche to where maybe you're not getting $1 something cost per purchase, right? You can be able to combat that customer acquisition cost and still be able to profit, right? So look at it from a full e-commerce point of view, even the way that your store is set up. So I love that, bro. And I think that's extremely powerful.
I mean, think about it this way, Charles, like if you spend more on Facebook, you're going to get sales, right? But you don't know right now, if you're just starting out, you don't know how much you're going to have to spend on Facebook to get your first sale. Facts. It could be $100.
Facts.
Let's just say it could be $100. It might cost you $100 to get somebody to buy.
Right.
So instead of looking at it this way, instead of looking at it like, man, I can't be profitable with paying Facebook $100 to get a sale. How can you flip that and say, okay, how much do I have to sell to each customer to make money or break even on that $100? Like, well, it's probably $200 per sale. So, okay. How can I get my average order value? And that's astronomical. I'm not, you know, it's an example, but looking at it from that perspective of like, if it costs you $20 to get a customer and you can't, and you're like, man, that's too much. Well, no, flip it and say, I just got to get somebody to spend $40 average order value.
Right. There you go.
And it's like, oh, then I can pay that.
Right.
And the quick tip is like, most of your competitors are not going to pay that. So you have a competitive advantage if you can spend more on Facebook ads, right?
Right.
And the more you can sell, the more you can spend.
What's that marketing saying, Kerry? I know you're a digital marketer geek like me. It's like, it's that saying. It's like
I think I know what you're saying. The person who can spend the most on to acquire
customer wins, right? And that's exactly it. There we go. I know it. Yeah. That's what Kerry is saying. The most somebody can spend to acquire a customer wins. So
if you can spend the most on Facebook ads, you win.
You win, right? But the way that you do that is, and I love it. It's a strict mindset shift that Kerry talked about. It's not so much of, oh, I'm spending $50 to get a customer to buy every time I spend 50, but it's like, okay, I spent 50, but how can I put it in a way to where I get $75 per order? Something like that, right? And at that point, you become profitable. One quick thing for me, Kerry. So I have a brand that's around Black fatherhood, right? And so I've done really good during the holidays, but I look at some of my students' cost per purchase, and they're like at $5, $3, $7, $10. And
I love it, but I hate it. I'm like, why can't I get that?
Right. I was always spending like $20 to get a customer, right? And I feel like it's, it's because of the market, right? I feel like just dads, I don't know, maybe we the last ones people buy for, we the last to buy for ourselves. So I'm spending about $20, but my average order value was always like $45. So that's how I got it to work. And so I want y'all to catch that. That's huge gems that Kerry dropped on us. Next thing, Kerry, as far as shirt school, let's talk about shirt school.
Yeah, man, I'd love to.
So how long have you been doing shirt school, first off?
So I've been doing shirt school since we launched it in the beginning of October of 2019.
Right.
So I think it's been real close to a year and a half.
Okay.
Real close.
Cool.
And we're on like the third version. Like the first version was like me on my like 360p MacBook camera.
Right.
This is how you do stuff, like really just brand new. And then now it's like more professional and all that stuff.
I love it. So I'm interested to ask you this, bro, because I remember when I made the switch to say, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to take this stuff that I've learned and I utilize and try to help other people. And I remember the feeling of, am I going to be able to do this? Or like, how is it going to turn over? Or like, I had to grow into the position, right? To feel confident. How was it for you when you first took that step into coaching?
Man, I think it's the same thing most everybody goes through. Is like, you don't feel like you're a professional. You don't feel like you're an expert. Let me give you a piece of advice.
Right.
You're never going to feel ready. You know what I mean? Like you're never just, what's that?
For anything.
No. Yeah. Like you're never going to be like, oh, I made it. It's time. Let me go teach people, like it was, what's up? Shout out to Shirt School. I love it. I sent an email out before this and posted on some social media.
You got some of your peeps in here. We got about 294 people watching now.
Whoa. Bro. Dang, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. So yeah, I mean, you never really feel ready. And yeah, I was terrified. Like I had imposter syndrome, or you're like, am I trying to be some like guru and I'm not a guru? And it's like, and at the end of the day, I mean, I just had so many of my friends like asking me like, hey, you selling t-shirts? Like, what are you doing? Like, and how much are you making? And I was just like, well, I mean, we've been doing pretty well. And here's what we've been doing. And they're like, can you teach me? And I'm like, well, I probably can't like teach you one-on-one, but maybe there's a way I could come up with the course. And I was learning about online courses, learning about digital marketing, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, it's dude, thank you, Nina. To this day, Charles, like it's a daily thing of like, and it's weird. It's weird. Like I wake up daily and I just, and we just bought our dream home a couple months ago. And I say that very humbly, like, and I hate bragging about it, but it's like, for me, coming from like, I lived in homeless shelters when I was a kid. My parents divorced when I was 8. My dad was addicted to prescription medication, and he was an alcoholic, and he was abusive. And like, we lived in homeless shelters. For me to like have a home that has a theater room in it, and like that, and in my dream neighborhood, like every day I wake up and I'm just like, I'm just like, man, God, like,
yes,
God's going off in my life. Like, thank you, God. Like, I'm so humbled.
Right.
And so every day I have to kind of like try to keep the humble mindset and just remember that, I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm just trying to offer my knowledge, what I have to offer. I maybe don't have the multi-millions of dollars of knowledge to offer that some people do. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. There's going to be people that follow me and want to know what I have to offer.
Right.
And all you need, if you're out there and you want to be an expert, like all you need is to be one step ahead of somebody else. And I know a lot of people say that, but it's so true, right? It's like, it's so true. If you're just one step ahead, you have something to offer. You don't need a master's degree. You don't need a bachelor's degree. Like you don't need, like, it's your experience. It's your, and so it's something I'm always dealing with. So yeah, I mean, it's daily, just reminding myself like, yes, people want to hear what I have to offer. I can't quit because people are counting on me, and I've got students and it's like all this stuff. I just got to keep going and keep offering all that I have to offer.
Right. Well, no, salute to you, brother. And like that's why I wanted to bring it up. I think this is, unless somebody has walked in that position, this was really a, equal conversation between both of us for that part, but same exact way, bro. But I think that we have a passion for what we do. We've seen how it's empowered us and changed our lives and brought us from a place to where we were at the bottom. And like you said, but God, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the blessings and how he shows out. It's amazing. So kudos to you for the new crib and the new house, bro. I think that's amazing, man. So
like I said, we wake up every day and we're like, do we really live here? Like, it's weird.
right. I love it, bro. I love it. So look, all right. So tell me about the structure of Shirt School. Okay. Yeah. So tell me, what do you offer? What is the program like? Tell the people about that.
Well, Charles, I appreciate you like even just giving me an opportunity to talk about it, man. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Structure of Shirt School. So I really do not want to have a program that just leaves you to do it on your own, right? So many gurus out there that you can go get it. You can go get a course and you can they leave you with a billion videos for you to spend for yourself.
Right.
That's not what I want. I want Shirt School to have the support in the community and that kind of additional level of just accountability and support. And so at its core, it is like 6 or 7 modules. It's a lot of videos, short, concise, to the point, to get you those results quickly. It takes you from, it's A to Z. It takes you from, I'm a complete beginner, I don't even know what print on demand is or any of this stuff, to all the marketing from organic strategies. We have organic strategies in there where we teach you how to get sales organically. And you don't have to use Facebook ads. We teach you how to build your email list. We teach you how to run Facebook, Instagram ads. So organic and paid strategies throughout the Shirt School. We have a ton of bonuses, bonus trainings and different things in there. And then we also have that community support and coaching element along with Shirt School. So when you join Shirt School, you have the course, all the bonuses, all that stuff. Then you have our Shirt School community, which is a Facebook group where you can communicate with our students, learn from our students. And then I also do monthly Q&A and coaching sessions. So I jump on there live. You can submit questions. You can chat with me, ask me questions, all that kind of stuff. That I do that monthly. And so, like I said, we have, I think we have inside Shirt School, I think we have 600 plus students. We just released a new kind of entry level program that's $27 that we have a few hundred students in that already. And then I only have 8 higher level coaching students on kind of a mastermind, group coaching program. Those are kind of the 3 levels. And man, it's unbelievable. Like, we have tons of 6-figure students. We just got our first $1 million earner.
That's amazing.
Know of, maybe there's more.
That's amazing.
$1 million earner. He's a stud. He started in March when the pandemic started. Did 1.5 million in 2020. Got our program in March. Like, it's unbelievable. And that's what keeps me going, is seeing people have those results. Like, and almost every day I get another DM of like, hey, I just crossed 6 figures. Hey, I just did my first 1,000. Hey, I just hit my first 10,000. Like, it's like, it's unbelievable, man.
I love it, bro. So listen, everybody out there, all right, if you are interested, right, and you want to learn about, these, do you cover funnels, anything in the program, Kerry?
We have a whole module on funnels where I teach you the free plus shipping model and we have a subscription module. It's all in there.
Right. That's amazing. So listen, free plus shipping, funnels, ads, all the things to grow your business. Check out Kerry Shirt School. All right. Down below, I ended up putting a link. Now, how do they sign up? How do they get in? How do they sign up? Talk to me about that, bro.
Hey, let me give you a quick let me give you people a quick tip. If they want to get in, I'll give them a little kind of a discounted thing. Okay.
Go.
A quick tip. So there's 2 ways you can get in. You can watch our free web class, which is 60 minutes long. I think you put a link in, like, that's the link on the deal
down
here.
Below. Yeah.
KerryEgeler.com/shirt school. But if you want to save $200, that's a big discount.
Yeah.
On Shirt School, go grab our Jumpstart print on demand kit. It's $27. Inside that course, we'll give you a $200 coupon to get into Shirt School. So if you just go to KerryEgeler.com, so just take off the Shirt School, scroll down a little bit, you'll see Jumpstart print on demand there. It's like this big bundle of products. That's kind of the entry level into our world. Inside of that little $27 program, we teach you how to find your niche, how to build a store, and something else in there. A little bit about print on demand. There's a bunch of resources in there, cheat sheets, like all kinds of stuff in there. But then at the end of that, you get a $200 coupon to get into our premium program, our signature program, into Shirt School. So I would get that kit and then get the $200 coupon if I were you. That's a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So y'all go get that. KerryEgeler.com. Take off the shirt school. Get the kit, right? Go ahead and learn from that. Get the $200 off, and then you have access to shirt school. So I think that's an amazing offer, bro.
Hey, by the way, I just realized there was a comments button over here. I had
yeah.
It said private chat, and I just clicked the comments, and now I'm seeing like all these.
Yeah, you see everything. Yeah, everything is in there, bro. So that's why I'm over here putting stuff on the screen. So yeah, man, everybody is loving it, man. They loving the conversation. So you didn't gain some powerful knowledge, bro. So look, Kerry, let's wrap it up with this, man. I think that you've given some extreme value. I can't thank you enough for sharing your knowledge, sharing your story, the inspiration, the motivation, the tactics, right? I think that is strong and a lot of things that people can use. What advice would you give to the person who is at the very beginning stages? They're starting it out. They're still trying to get clarity in this t-shirt game online. What would you tell somebody at the very beginning?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. So two things. The most important things is that, and you just mentioned clarity. You just said clarity, and getting clarity on your business and the keys in potentially having success with this. I call them the two most important questions that you need to answer. It's who and what. Who and what. Okay. So let's start with the what. What are you going to sell? What niche are you going to be in? Okay. Get clear on that. Don't just throw random stuff out there. So what am I going to sell? What niche am I going to be in? Who is your customer going to be? Again, get as clear as you possibly can on that. Is it men? Is it women? Is it moms, dads, occupation, doctors, nurses, teachers, police officers? Like, who is it going to be? Think about where they live. Any information that you can gather about your ideal customer. If you answer the who and the what, you're going to be very clear, and you're going to be able to put products out there that really speak to those people. And that's the quickest path to success.
Right.
Answer those questions, who and what. Get as clear as you can on that.
Crystal clear on who and what. If you can do those things, and I would concur exactly what Kerry is talking about. If you can figure that out, that makes the creation process so much easier. The sales, the marketing process so much easier. So I think that's great. And I saw somebody in here said, what if your niche is intended to be broad? I mean, it can have broad, but I still feel like it needs to be, somewhat specific.
I can speak to that a little bit. I don't mind speaking to that a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Question. What if your niche is intended to be broad? Well, there's a couple things. Just know up front that if you're going to go broad, it's going to cost you more money to compete. You're going to have more competitors. You're going to have to, it's just going to be it's longer term, and it's going to cost you more money if you're running something like Facebook ads, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
The other tip I would give you if you want to go broad is you got to be even more clear on the who, right? So your niche could be broad, but you got to know exactly who it's for. A lot of people mention like some of the brands, like, I'm not going to remember them now, but there's some brands out there where it's like, well, this one's broad. And then I pull up their Instagram, and it's like on their Instagram, every single person they look exactly the same.
Right.
Like it's like a young, maybe an African-American person with the same kind of style. And it's like I look at, I can't remember the brand I'm thinking of. It's it's a Christian brand, like the worship brand.
God is dope.
God is dope. Yeah. God is dope. Like people are like, what about God is dope? They're broad. I'm like, well, it's Christian apparel. And if you go look at their Instagram or anything, it's the same type of person, like all throughout their Instagram, right? Similar age, race, like all the things, like they're going after a specific person with their marketing.
Right.
So if you're going broad, you got to be super clear on the who it is, who you're going to target. And then also understand, guys, that when you start and super niche down, over time you can broaden as you grow, right?
Right.
But you got to start small, start niche.
I love it. And I just want to shout out to S. Perry for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. She said, spend the most on ads, increase average order value. Thanks for the gems. So I think that's extremely valuable, Kerry, how you talked about it being broad. But you have still found, even if it's a broad topic, the way that you're putting your content up, the pictures that you're taking, it still kind of narrows down a specific audience within that broad niche, right? That it appeals to. And so I think that's valuable advice. So, bro, I appreciate you, bro.
Dude, I appreciate you, man.
This is the the first convo we had, the first time that we spoke and met and talked. And, you know, I'm glad to cross paths with you, bro. And I think that, you know, we can definitely, you know, do some more things from here. But it's been an honor to have you on the show, man. And where can the people find you at?
Yeah, Kerry Egeler on Instagram. I know I have a weird name, like KerryEgeler. Kerry Egeler on Instagram is probably the best way to connect with me. I'm on Clubhouse. I've been doing some rooms on Clubhouse. I'd love to hook up with you on there if you're doing anything on Clubhouse.
Absolutely.
And then I'd also love to have you on my, you know, either live in my group or YouTube or whatever. We can figure something out. So
yeah,
this is awesome.
It would be an honor, bro. This is not the last time for sure. We'll be coming together doing something cool. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate it, man. And we'll be in touch. All right.
All right, man. Thank you so much, guys.
I see you. There we go. There we go. Listen, man, if y'all never heard of, and listen and follow Kerry, make sure y'all go follow this, man. You can go follow him on Instagram, Kerry Egeler. You can go find him on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel, lots of great content. You can go ahead and find him. He has a free Facebook group. Make sure you get that $27 offer and shirt school, right? He's teaching some valuable stuff that if you're looking to really level up your brand, take it to the next level, go check him out if you love the conversation that we had. Look, man, I thank y'all so much. I appreciate every single person who has watched this conversation, watched previous videos. As I always say, if you can just do me a favor, like, share it with a friend, share it with family member, send it to grandmama, put it in one of your Facebook groups, right? All I'm trying to do is bring the best resources, the best minds to this show so I can learn and y'all can learn with me. So I truly appreciate it today. I want y'all to go ahead and check out KerryEgeler.com/shirt school. And listen, like I always say, man, if you can see it in your mind's eye, one day you're going to be able to see it with your real eyes. Peace, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Till next time, we'll talk soon.